Special meeting to discuss our upcoming 2015 road program. We have no intentions to take any kind of action tonight. Please, the record show that 4 supervisors are in attendance. Ms. Fisher is not present. Mrs. Don Giuso, Bill Walker, Joe Saints. Our family will dispense with the formalities tonight. Joe, go ahead.
Sure, thank you. I'd like to have a copy of a memo that I put together dated January 29, 2015, which outlined a proposed pavement maintenance program. This was put together in conjunction with Mr. Bordoff here. Him and I looked at roads throughout the township and selected these roads based on needs relative to the Public Works Department, and came up with a nice program. It has a total cost of $1.2 million. We have streets that are within the Monaco plan. We have Meadowcrest Drive, Fieldcrest, Klinger, a section of Fawcett Church Road, King Road, and Klinger Road. So on here. So we'd like to get authorization at some point from the board to proceed with doing a program. Our recommendation would be to put this project out to bid with 2 contracts like we've done in the past. We have one contract that is basically our liquid fuel fund project. So we use the PennDOT liquid fuels, and then we have another contract that's a non-liquid fuels project that is funded through the general fund, which gives us the opportunity to add or delete streets from the program as we see fit.
One question that I have for you tonight, Joe, is on where Klinger Road, the intersection of McConnell right there, that is a sharp bend and a sharp turn. Have we talked about whether we have the right of way to make that intersection a little easier for the turns there?
We can check on it.
You know what I'm
I know we're talking about, Andy, yes.
There is a tight turn there.
Yes.
If you're coming up McConnell and going on to Klinger, there is a good turn there.
Elizabeth mentioned that last
Which
year.
one are you talking about?
The intersection of McConnell and another on the other end of it, McConnell and
Yes,
Klinger.
that's bad, and I brought that up in the past.
Yes, you did.
That we should do something there we have to even take a little bit off of that empty lot.
Yeah, the second class township code allows us to go in, and it says if you needed to widen or for site distance or things like that, you have the right to actually go and do that. There's a procedure for it.
Then the other spot on there that I brought up, because it was last year, was at Fawn Lane. That's a real bad spot there.
Sorry, where at?
Fawn Lane, on Klinger Road, at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
That's really a bad spot there, and the road right of way does not follow the property lines. The issue is you're going along the road, starting right at Farm Lane. At that point, Mr. Power always said that we should do something, or that the township should do something, and the township never took any action to do anything. Of course, I didn't either. But
40 years ago, Mr. Powers was involved.
well, and that's right.
I wasn't even born yet.
Here you go now.
You were retired.
It's all good. Don't be stretching the truth. Is that actually out of alignment then, really? It's not in where it should be, is that what you're saying?
Well, let me try to explain. The road does not follow the property line on either side.
It's taking more of one property than the other, but
Well,
it has to be that if it's not following.
wait, let me try to explain it. That the property on the left side as you're going on Klinger Road is, what's the name of the property owner there, Tom? Who owns that property?
They have a driveway right off of
I'm
that.
talking about that whole side.
Horse farm.
What?
Was that horse farm there?
No,
I mean, Birdie.
No, I'm talking about across from Birdie's. Birdie's, we own the property from Klinger Road, from McConnell Road, almost to Path Road, on the right-hand side, almost to Burnside Road. Birdie's came to us and wanted to buy property, and my father was going to sell from the far end, closest to Burnside Road. but we didn't own the frontage there. The frontage, not a lot, maybe 5 or 6 feet, was owned by the Tar Estate. That's what I was trying to remember, which owned everything across the road. Likewise, further up the road, we owned on the other side of the road, and Tars didn't have the frontage. What I'm trying to tell you is the road did not follow the property lines, for either side was a disadvantage to both sides. And
That's no consequence because the law changed in '79 and it said that roads have shifted through the years, and it says that the new right-of-way shall be determined from the center of the roadway, the full width as established, where it's as if done by deed. So I mean, if it's been 20 years out of the path, that's the new path. Tar family would own that little strip that you say that on the front, and you would gain more this side. But you don't have to move the road to follow some.
All I'm saying is that that's a bad area at the top, which could easily be corrected. At the top, where Farm Lane is. Yeah, take more of the right side, perhaps.
We could do that. It doesn't matter whether there was a property shift or not. If a bend needs wide, the township has the authority to go and do that to make it safe. And
So we look at it, just see if we can widen that bend some.
I would suggest
Just
that
take
it's
a
done,
look
it's
at it.
dangerous.
Can you just
And the
look into that for
Yeah,
us?
let's look at that.
Traffic on Klinger Road is getting really bad.
yeah.
So we'll look at the the intersection on the other end, and we'll look at that bend widen.
Right, right. And the intersection at the other end really needs to be widened too. That's hard for me to make a turn there with my car.
It's hard for anybody making a turn, exactly.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody
It
else
is.
has been thinking on me about it.
Speaking to the mic, okay, so we can.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, Bill, you mentioned when you and I rode together a few weeks ago about after the scene, when you go over the hump, as you are proceeding towards Tap Road on Klinger, that first bend, you were discussing about something being done there as well.
Right, that's the area that Elizabeth's talking about.
No.
No, she's talking about the end up by Fawn,
I'm talking about the
up on top of the hill.
where Fawn Lane is.
Oh, are you're talking
And I'm
about.
talking also about McConnell and Klinger Road intersection. Now, that's another area that really ought to be straightened out, and that's owned by the same person on both sides. Now, we don't own it anymore.
We have some right away.
Right, we may be able to do it without it, but it says in section 2312, elimination of curves, acquisition of views. Any township may acquire by purchase or by the right of eminent domain any property and lands along or adjacent to any township road that may be necessary to eliminate dangerous curves and wide roads, and provide a free and unobstructed view over lands located in or near the intersection of any two roads or highways, or a railroad or road or a curve in any road, for better protection and safety to the traveling public.
Where the bad curve is, I don't think that there would be much involved there because it's the same property owner who's really not losing anything. If you're just shifting it one way or the other, there could not be much of a problem.
Or laying back the slope also gives you view too. You don't necessarily have to shift the road, you can lay back the.
What is the right of way on that?
33 feet.
How much?
33.
33, so from center line we have 17 and a half each.
16 and a half.
33, 16 and a half, okay.
Rod is 16 and a half.
TJ, I believe you were referring to the area that I pointed out that we were going to chip seal. We were going to crack seal and chip seal.
Well, yes, but yes, where the seam is.
Right.
Okay, then
Yes.
as you come up on that knob that's sort of blind,
Yes.
you bear to the right. As you make that turn, we were discussing how that needed to be shaved off a little
Right,
bit.
that's the embankment on the right side.
Right.
In order to flatten that radius a little bit.
And that's planning to be,
No, that's what we were talking about. Elizabeth was just talking about that.
all
About
right.
that bend, Fawn Lane.
We'll look into what we can do.
Yeah, well, Joe said he'll look at some pricing to lay that earth back on a bend up there by Fawn, Joe. But also, if you could look at our intersection there, the deed on either side of that intersection of Klinger and McConnell.
Right.
And if we own a certain amount of right of way beyond the actual cartway right now. So if you could show us if we own 5 or 6 feet, and maybe you need 5 feet to make that a little straighten it out more. Tell us what we might need, and then we can decide
Right.
based on how much it is. if it would take too much of that property, you'd render it worthless, then that hurts that property owner. But if it's a matter of 3 or 4 feet to shift it 10 feet, then we already own
That
something.
corner lot is exactly a half acre.
I thought it was non-conforming though, it's not.
Pardon me?
I didn't think you could build anything in there to conform to current standards.
Well, there's public sewage there now,
Is there?
yeah.
So it'd be less.
Because it used to have that trailer, remember?
Yeah, it's still the trailer. We
Yeah.
owned that at one time, and when my father started selling lots off on McConnell Road, we didn't own that corner, or there was only a very small amount that the woman across the road, can't remember.
Restaurant.
Yeah,
Right.
Fran Restaurant. There was not enough for a buildable lot. So as he sold up the road, he saved, I think, 20 feet of frontage. Yeah, I think it was 20 feet, so that could be a buildable lot. And then sewage came in, which should provide for even more benefit.
Right.
Will Joe see that if he researches that, there's a 20-foot strip that maybe could be added to that lot to help make it a lot better for somebody?
Yeah, but it might have subsequently been sold after the whole parcel was sold.
All right.
I don't know what the status is right now, but I can guide you to the depot and page numbers of what we had of the whole parcel,
Okay.
so that you can bring it
Was the
forward.
board okay with Joe? It's going to take a little bit of effort of engineering time to do these couple things.
See what we can come up with, what's the best.
Okay.
But I have another question on Klinger Road. Isn't this the road that we just did like 2 years ago, part of it?
No. it's not.
Public Works.
We did Klinger Road from Fawn to Pap last year.
I think that, no. it
Yeah,
was-
she's right.
I think it was more like 3 or 4 years.
We
ago.
did the
We
Big
did-
Bend.
Public Works did a little bit on it.
But we stopped where all the houses are. We didn't do the stretch from McConnell to the last 11th house.
Right.
No, but wasn't the area that you go up and go Farm Lane, wasn't that just done a couple of years ago?
Our guys did it.
3, 4 years
It was
ago?
done by Public Works. though.
Yeah, but
That was done about 4 years ago in house.
That's still all right. It's,
It needs crack sealed and chip, it needs crack sealed and chip application put on.
right, that's what's proposed for that section, as Bill said.
Okay.
well, the other thing is, we haven't done that area where Jan DeFelice's house is, that stretch there, because you can still see the cuts from the sewer project in 2008. So that's the part that we haven't done yet, Joe. Our guys, what they did from the last house all around the Big Bend up to Fawn, that's the thing is fine, and then
That's what we're chip sealing.
last year we did the rest of it.
We did from Fawn out to Pap
But
last year.
what's your proposed for the rest of that?
Well, from Klinger Road, from McConnell to 38 Klinger, that's where all the houses are. We're proposing to mill that or resurface it with binder and layering surface.
All right,
And at that limit, up to Fawn Lane, we're going to do a seal coat.
good, okay.
That's what we're proposing to do there.
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay. Parkwood Circle, that's going to be built and resurfaced as we have costed out there, as well as Pleasant Drive and Monaco Drive and Sunnycrest. Those are mill and resurfaced. Meadowcrest, Hillcrest and Terminus, that's mill and resurfaced. Fieldcrest for Sunnycrest and Woodcrest, that's mill and resurfaced. We just talked about Klinger Road, Fawcett Church from Leander to the Cecil, Cecil Order, that's mill